Hello, fabulous Aries. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of May 2016, Love Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month in the realm of love, what's most important is that your ruling planet Mars will change signs now. Your ruling planet will move back into the sign of Scorpio. Now, wherever your ruling planet goes, that's where you go. And particularly when your ruling planet is one that has to do with passion and attraction, being driven towards another person, having this significant return of Mars retrograding into a part of the sky for you that has to do with the deep, significant connection that you feel with another person, that becomes a strong overriding theme in your life. In fact, that becomes the priority in your life. Those of you who are in an established bond, I think this energy is going to speak to those of you in an established bond that much more. And this has to do with the depth of sharing, the depth of intimacy, and the depth of vulnerability. I actually think that Mars retrograde in this part of the sky can work really well, can actually be a very positive thing. Because what happens with Mars retrograde in this part of the sky is that it allows you in particular to be that much more honest with yourself, to be that much more reflective, and to be that much more brave in sharing those things that are very deep within you that you necessarily don't share, especially broadly with a lot of people. But to feel that level of trust, but also a level that knowing that you are okay, that you can share, of that inner strength, I think allows you to feel that much more open and that much more receptive, and allows that sharing to take place in a way that only strengthens you and only gives you a renewed sense of your own inner resilience. So there's a lot of beauty to be had for being laid bare, in a sense, especially emotionally and spiritually. And I look at this and I think about how there is something about sharing, right? The act of sharing that is alchemical, that is transformative in itself. The act of speaking out loud the things that maybe we don't always share, that has an ability to change us just simply in the action. And it's not always about what's shared, but the fact that it can be shared, the fact that you could be in that place to acknowledge and to let yourself be seen in a way that maybe sometimes isn't easy. You will find that courage. And especially if this is someone that you trust, that you are with, that commitment to them, that bond to them will deepen that much more as a result. Those of you who are open to meeting someone new, or just getting to know somebody. So it plays out a little bit different, okay? I will let you know. I think if you're open to meeting someone new, this is about attracting somebody where the experience is in some way deeply transformative. In some way, the experience is a catalyst of rebirth for you. And so it has that ability to reach right into and create a shift, an energetic shift. And it has that ability to get you to be looking at yourself differently, right? As I say, love and relationships are about seeing yourself as reflected in the eyes of another. And that itself, that can be a whole mirror that you never looked in before. And that's what this sky suggests with the position of Mars, with your ruling planet moving through this particular part of the sky. It is about having that moment with someone who may otherwise be brand new to you, having that moment that allows you to reflect that much more deeply and allows you that deeper level of honesty with yourself about what you're seeing as you consider how it is that this person may be seeing you. Now, of course, we like to say, there's live from your truth and don't worry about how people are perceiving you. Of course, we like to say that. And yes, I think that there's a lot of value in that. You always do want to stay connected to your truth. But there is something about seeing yourself differently. So it can stay about you, but having that other perception can lend itself to a deepening of self-knowledge. And that's what we're going for here. And that's what the sky is suggesting for you now. So regardless of how far you choose to take that moment, how subtle or intense that moment may be, ultimately that is about allowing that deeper level of reflection and self-honesty that has a sweeping change on many areas of your life for the better. And those of you just getting to know somebody, I mean, I look at the sky and it actually may flip. It actually may be different in that it might be that this other person ends up revealing a whole lot to you and surprising you at that. Ends up being very, very open about things that, you didn't really need to hear. So it's up to you how you're going to deal with that moment. Okay. That is a possibility now. So be mindful of that. If you're with somebody or you're just getting to know somebody and it's not even that you're getting to know them, it's more like of a casual kind of thing, which happens. There's something about, I do think. Now, I'm going to be a little bit direct here, if I may, right? A little bit more explicit here, but the physical act of intimacy, I do think that there are times when it can be very, and I'm going to get a little astrological here, a little technical here, but there are times when it's very fifth house, okay? And the fifth house is about fun. So there are times that it can be just about the joy of the moment and of the experience, and it's very much about you. And then there are times when it can be a lot more personal. It can become a metaphor for a deeper sort of emotional connection. And sometimes those lines can blur, as is the case now. And so if you are in a situation, whether it's a flirtation, whether it is more than that, but if you're in a situation where you are looking at it as fifth house stuff, simply keeping that connection going can lend itself to blurring the lines between fifth house and eighth house. So it can lend itself to blurring those lines between what's just fun for you and this person taking it as a metaphor for growing intimacy, and therefore feeling that they can share a whole lot of things when it may be that your view of this person has very much to do with you. It's not that you're looking at this other person and looking at yourself. It's all about you, which is what a lot of love, especially in the beginning, can be. So be mindful of that, how you approach that, how you decide to move forward with that, completely up to you. But just know that it's not always just about what's happening on that, physical level, but that people have emotions and they have feelings, and people, all of us have our wounds that we're carrying. And there are these rare moments when we allow other people to see it. Either that's going to freak somebody out or it's going to endear somebody towards us. So how you choose to approach that is really going to be up to you. But regardless, there's a lot of learning to be had here. And there's a lot of learning to be had as you learn to define intimacy and what intimacy is going to mean for you. And as you move forward in that pathway, as you decide what it is that true closeness is going to be, you're going to realize what it is that you are ready for and what maybe you're not, what maybe you need a different process to achieve. And as you do that, as you come to understand that there is something within you that is ready to be bolder, that is ready to be more honest with yourself or with others, that honesty itself will serve as a transformative moment, a transformation that I think will lead you to a new sense of self, a new sense of clarity, and a new sense of appreciation of your own ability to be brave, to be bold, and to be true. Visit Amazon.com to learn about my book, Astrology, realized in English and Spanish, and shop my website, NadiyaShah.com, for exclusive The Universe is Wise and Loving merchandise and my signature jewelry line, Astro Fabulous Jewelry. Enjoy.